I wonder if this thing will... Yep, go above fire. Got my backpack, some shit jumps off. Hey there, it's Matt. I am out here today at Double Tap Range with the brand new Springfield Kuna. It's pronounced Kuna, K-U-N-A. People in Idaho are going to probably try and pronounce it Kuna, because that's a city here in Idaho that's spelled the same way, but it is pronounced Kuna.
Hakuna Matata, bitches!
Enough with the name. This is made by HS Produkt, who makes all of Springfield's striker-fired guns. This gun is a 9mm roller delayed little subgun, PCC. It would be nice if we could get the select fire versions over here, but we can't, so this one's semi-auto only. It does come from the factory in two different versions. This one is the one with the brace. The other version is going to just have the Picatinny rail here on the rear of it. As soon as I get my Form 1 back on this gun, which hopefully will be before I publish this video, I plan on putting the HD A3, the Haga Defense A3 Industries new stock on this. It is about a perfect fit for the rear of this gun, and it looks good. It will look good on it. So let's talk about this here real quick. This gun was originally chambered in 40 cal. They rechambered it in 9mm for U.S. market, for the U.S. civilian market. Potentially, there's hintings that maybe it'll come out in 10mm for the U.S., but we'll see on that. Currently, we've got the 9mm version. With that said, the magwell is huge for a 9mm. It's because it's the same magwell that was used for the 40. If you look at these magazines, the magazine body itself is very thick. Even on the top edge of it, you can see the metal feed ramps, feed lips, but the rear of it has got a lot of beef to it. They are proprietary mags. The upside is I think they're going to be $24.95 from Springfield. So you got to buy new ones, even if you got another 9mm subgun that uses, like, say, CZ Scorpions, because there are lots of guns that use that pattern mag. This is going to be a new magazine you're going to need to buy. They're going to be $24.95. They're cheap. So that's the upside to them. This thing is very small, very light. It has, for those of us in the U.S. market that are used to shooting ARs, it's got basically a ping pong paddle, just like your AR does, on both sides of the gun. It's fully ambi. The mag release is on both sides of the gun, and the safety is on both sides of the gun. So all your controls are on both sides, aside from the charging handle. And from the looks of it, I haven't tried yet. I haven't even looked at the manual yet. It does look like it can be reversed because it's got the same spot on both sides. So I will have to take a look at that and get back to that here later in the video. This is the braced version. This is a Strike Industries brace, not the prettiest looking brace. The hinge on it works very well. The extension on it is nice and stable. It's just got Strike Industries flair to it. Other than the optic, because getting old sucks and my eyes don't work with iron sights that well anymore, I put an optic on it, but this thing is bone stock as it sits right now. So the next thing we're going to get to is first shots. I need to throw out a big thank you to my two main channel sponsors. First up, Boise Black Rifle. Not only do I work there, they support this channel by supplying ammo and doing a lot of other stuff for me behind the scenes. Thank you very much to Boise Black Rifle. And the other main channel sponsor that's been a long time channel sponsor is going to be US Law Shield. US Law Shield is either, depending on the state you live in, insurance or prepaid legal service for people who carry firearms for self-defense. If you carry a firearm for self-defense, you really should look into some sort of insurance. US Law Shield has attorneys on standby available 24 hours a day. If you ever get in a situation where you use deadly force, whether it's with a firearm or any other means, to protect your life, get a hold of your US Law Shield attorney. There are lots of different levels of coverage, and unlike many other services out there, they cover on-duty law enforcement. US Law Shield, huge thanks to them. And a big thanks to Boise Black Rifle. All right, let's get into this video. All right, let's see what this thing shoots like. I guess I should turn the optic on and make it bright enough so I can actually see something. So I'm finding it a little bit difficult unless I come way off the grip on the left side to throw the safety back on. Might be the grip angle, don't know. Easy enough to flick it back on with my trigger finger though. And I'm currently shooting with the brace. So there's 30 rounds. It shoots really nice. The recoil impulse is very controllable, very nice, soft. Still getting used to the trigger. It is a little bit long. But let's put some more rounds through it and see how it goes. Okay, so far gun's functioning perfectly. All right, I keep wanting to hit the bolt catch when I'm going for the mag release. That's just going to be a learning curve on my part. That's not a fault with the gun. So far, that's 100 rounds. 0 malfunctions, gun's running nice and smooth. Rate of fire doesn't seem to affect it at all, which is not surprising considering the gun was designed to be a submachine gun. Got 100 rounds of ammo through this thing. The first 100 rounds was STV Scorpio 124 grain brass. I currently have 2 mags loaded with MagTech steel case 115 grain. So let's see how this stuff runs through it. I will note one thing here. I don't know if you can hear that on the microphone. This mag has a little bit of a rattle to it. The other mag, no rattle. So I don't know what's up with that. We'll see what happens here. I did try reseating the ammo and it still is rattling. But let's see how this thing likes MagTech steel case. All right, out here with 2 more loads. This is CCI Blazer brass 124 grain. Let's see how it does with that. That worked just fine. Next up, this is, let me get in here so you can see. It's hollow point. It's not much of a hollow point. This is Winchester white box, like training ammo, 147 grain brass case hollow points. Definitely can feel the difference in the shoulder. That is a little bit stouter recoil. I wonder if this thing will... Yep, it'll bump fire. So that's 220 rounds through this thing so far. Absolutely zero malfunctions. If everything goes well, this may be a scorpion killer. All right, so I am back at the range. Said all right again. With the Kuna, although you will notice it's not in exactly the same format as it was last time you saw it. I've done a few things to it, including adding a suppressor to it. I have not fired it with a suppressor on it yet, so let's see how it does. I'm kind of curious. Suppressing guns can cause malfunctions, so let's see how good of a job Springfield did on this. It's functioning just fine. I did notice I forgot to put my ears on, but it's not bad. I'm getting a little bit of a snap from the supersonic rounds. My ejection pattern hasn't changed at all, which actually that's kind of impressive. I'm gonna throw my ears on though, just so I don't destroy my hearing. So there's 30 rounds suppressed, and it is running fine. Smelling just a little bit of gas, but not real bad. So we're going to run a whole bunch of rounds through this thing today. Not all of it's going to be on camera. Just putting rounds through it to see how it runs, and we will keep updating you as it goes. We've been running this gun thus far with 124 grain 115s, and I used some 147 Winchester white box training ammo. They're hollow points, but they're not very hollow points. What I have here now is some 140 grain S&B subsonics. I know it works good with supers. I've got a can on it, so it should function just fine with subs. But let's take a quick look and see how it runs. You can obviously see the gas coming out of the open ejection port there. But while the gun is running, I'm not noticing it in my face. All right, just encountered our very first malfunction. I can't tell what's going on there. I believe that is a live round that's going into the chamber. Some sort of failure to feed. We'll have to open that up and take a quick look. All right, so we finally encountered a couple of malfunctions with the gun. I did record that one earlier that you saw, and upon inspection, it's looking to be a magazine issue. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So it would, when the mag had 2 rounds left in it, it would have a failure to feed, and then the second round that was in the mag would be sitting down low. It wouldn't even pop up to the feed lips. They were getting stuck down low. So if you look inside this magazine, as this thing has started getting dirty inside, because I've been running it with a can on it, it's starting to encounter some malfunctions. If you look right there, you can see just how much dirt is built up on the inside of that magazine body. So that's, I think, the cause of the problem. I just took the other body apart, cleaned it, we reloaded it. We're going to run it and see what happens. Let's see if I encounter that same malfunction again. Nope. That one ran fine. So I cleaned the inside of this mag as best I could. I cleaned the follower, That's the first time we've used this mag since I have cleaned it. I thought we were going to be packing it up, but I think we're just going to be packing up the steel case ammo, sticking with brass for now. Oh, hang on a second. Don't do anything with it. Drop the mag. Is it one left in the mag after that one?
No.
That's the last round in the mag.
Stuck.
Oh yeah, follower is stuck in the magazine. So let's see if I can get this to where you can see. There you go. So the follower is a little bit stuck in there, and it does not want to come all the way up. What I found, this mag, even though I had cleaned it out with a rag earlier, my kid he still encountered a malfunction with it. And so I opened it back up, and it had a ton of carbon caked in there from running the gun with the can on it. So I got out a cleaning kit, grabbed the brush, scrubbed the inside of this thing out really well, dropped the follower back in it, and it dropped in nice and smooth and wasn't hanging up. So full mag, brass case, 124 grain Scorpio. It should not encounter any malfunctions this time. Let's see what happens. Oh, there's a malfunction. So it's still having the issue. I bet you anything I have one or no rounds left in the magazine. Yep, that was the last round in the mag. And the follower is still... Oh, it's stuck. So this is definitely a magazine issue. Once the mags get dirty, they're kind of screwed. So, ironically, holding that in my hand and firing that last round unstuck the follower. So, I think we're packing it up for the day. Definitely encountering some feeding issues with this gun due to the magazines. Things were going so well today until they weren't. The gun was running very well. Really enjoyable to shoot with the can on it. Didn't matter what rounds we ran through it, it was running great until we encountered problems. After just over 300 rounds of suppressed fire, we started running into an issue with the magazines. When you run the gun suppressed, the inside of the gun gets much dirtier, including your magazines. And it was only when it got to the last 1 or 2 rounds in the magazine. See if I can get it to, yep, there it goes right there. Push the magazine follower down, you can see it's stayed down. If I smack it, it popped back up. So what was happening, the inside of the mag body is just super dirty. I'm gonna take it apart on camera over here on the bench here and show you what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna clean the crap out of these magazines because until somebody else comes out with a better mag, I'm gonna be stuck with these. Hopefully Springfield is already aware of the issue. I don't know how this made it out of testing to have this issue. And it would be one thing if it was one of my mags that was doing it and the other one was still fine, but both mags encountered the problem at exactly the same amount of time. At the same time, like one mag and swap mags, and then the next mag did the same thing. So it was the same number of rounds going through each mag. So let's get on this camera over here and we will pull these apart. So they're very easy to disassemble, thankfully. Just push the little button on the bottom of the base plate down, and then the base plate comes off. Magazine spring comes out. You can see, potentially, let's see if I can pick it up and see if you can see it. There is garbage all over that spring. You got little black particles. That's just crap that ends up in your gun when you shoot suppressed. So here's the follower. It should just drop out of the magazine. There's no spring holding it in place. But it wasn't. It's hung up. So this one is a good example. I do have my light on me, good. So if I shine my light through here, maybe if I can, there it goes. You can see how much garbage is built up here at the top. And it's right where the metal feed lips are molded into the plastic is when it starts having issues. If you look, you can see how black it is inside both sides of the mag body. I think the other one is going to be a little bit cleaner. I took one of them apart and spent a lot more time cleaning it, and I used a brush on it. But it was still, even after all that, it was still having issues. The spring looks just as crappy. And see, that follower fell out like it should. This one is probably the cleaner of the two mags. I think this is the one I spent time cleaning. Yeah, there's not as much garbage built up in the top of this magazine. But this is not something that the gun should be encountering. This is originally a .40 caliber submachine gun. Who makes a submachine gun that isn't designed to fire in full auto or suppressed? So looking at the follower here, it's got a lot of room to rock down low. I wonder what it looks like up top. Yeah, it's got a big gap on either end of the follower. You can see it right there. When I rock the magazine, the back of it is not moving, but the front is just tilting up and back and forth. I don't have any contacts at Springfield, but I know somebody who does, and so he's going to pass along my problem that I encountered today to see if they've got any early feedback on that. Or maybe I'm just the lucky one and I'm the only person who's encountering this. We'll see. So just finished cleaning the mags. Let me get something that I can push the follower down with. So follower is not having any issues now. It's not hanging up at all in either mag. Before, I could just push it down a little bit with my thumb and it would hang up. They are not doing that now at all. I just want to show you the kind of gunk that ended up in here. I don't know if you can see how gross that is inside. See if I can back. There we go. So it's full of gunk. That's from shooting all that cheap ammo with a can on it. So there's lots of stuff grotesque in here, but everything in here was still functioning just fine. I am not going to clean this. This gun, any gun should be able to run 1,000 rounds without cleaning it. If this can't make it to that, then we've got some issues. I think it will. I think the only issues this gun has experienced thus far have been all magazine related. I am going to drop a little bit of oil in here just on a couple of the interface wear surfaces. But other than that, let's put this thing back together and go out to the range again. We are back out here for day 3. I am out at Double Tap Range, and we've got the Kuna back out here. Last time I was at the range with it, we were having major mag issues. Took the mags home. You already saw, I cleaned them up. Gun is back out here with a suppressor on it. We're going to be running it with a can on it again. And we're going to see how this thing goes. Where is my... It's running okay now. It did not have the magazine issue. So we're gonna run it a bunch. There's a couple of us out here. We're just gonna put a bunch of rounds through this thing. Okay, so for comparison's sake, in order to compare this thing, to have an idea what it compares, what it shoots like, we have the Kuna right there. Then there is my not remotely stock Scorpion. There is a bone stock PSA AKV. There is a not stock HK SP5, and then the brand new Daniel Defense PCC. So Fairly common guns. The PCC is going to represent basically all 9mm ARs, although that one does shoot a little bit differently. We're going to shoot these back to back. All three of my guns run the same can. They all have the same muzzle device on them. So instead of switching the can back and forth between guns to compare them, we're leaving the can off for those. And then when we get over here to the HK and the Daniel Defense, we'll throw the can back on. That way we got equal comparison as far as like back pressure and stuff like that goes. All right, now that I got some eyes on, let's do some shooting. Definitely more recoil on the Scorpion. Love that gun. I'm not knocking that gun at all, but this is so much lighter shooting. And I know the AKD is going to be even worse. It is a very noticeable difference between that and either of these two. The Scorpion has definitely got more felt recoil. Straight blowback 9mm, so I expect that. The AKB is even stouter. It is again straight blowback or straight recoil, straight blowback. And it's actually got very short travel for that bolt too. So it cycles way differently. Now I'm gonna throw the can on this. Let's see how it shoots. I don't know, that's pretty damn soft shooting. I'm gonna go with the MP5's a little bit softer. Make that quite a bit softer. And the Kuna is definitely lighter. That's light for a 9mm PCC, but this is definitely softer shooting. So the Daniel is straight blowback 9. It does have the kin shot, I don't know how to pronounce it, hydraulic buffer, which definitely makes it lighter shooting than a lot of other 9 PCCs. But in my opinion, I think the Kuna's lighter. Let's grab somebody else and throw them out here.
Definitely lighter than that. Boy, that is soft. You can definitely tell the difference there. This is the softest shooting.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I tried it with the back-to-back with the MP5 though.
I'd say that's a lot smoother.
Yep, the MP5 is stupid smooth.
I like this. It's definitely softer shooting than the Daniel. 100%.
So far we've put about, it's getting close to 300 rounds through this thing with the can on it. 330-ish is where I encountered problems the last time at the range with the magazines. I'm gonna keep shooting it with the can on it and see what happens. So right now we're gonna be right at almost at 1,000 rounds. And 140 grain subsonics in here. Why? There we go. Still running. No gas in my face until the last round when the bolt locks open, and then I'm getting gas out of the ejection port. But other than that, running nice and smooth. So here I am walking along, got my backpack, some shit jumps off. Very easily deployable. It would be nice with a shorter mag, which is one reason I carry a 20-round mag in my Scorpion when I'm carrying it in my backpack. Comes out of the backpack a little bit easier that way. Alrighty, it is time to wrap this guy up. Put a total of 1,200 plus rounds through it over a 3-day period. First day you saw me, it was bone stock other than the fact that it had an optic on it. I did forget to address this early on. For those who want to just run it with iron sights, it actually has some very low sitting iron sights right there that you can run, or it has built-in folding backup irons. So if you've got something that runs absolute co-witness height, those will probably cover you. With this lower third mount, unfortunately, they are just a hair too low for me to get on them. And as this stock sits, they're also too low. I can't even see them. I can get down, but you can't line them up. Speaking of this stock, this gun has been Form 1'd. This stock is the A3 Tactical Haga Defense Combined Effort HD A3. This stock works and fits on this gun perfectly. It does fold up, so if the can was not on this gun, that is a tiny little package. Folds out nice and easy. It locks up super strong. The 1913 Picatinny piece that goes in the back of this receiver is polymer. However, talking to the guys at A3, they are going to build a direct fit adapter for this stock. If you're not familiar with this stock, I did a separate video on it. Take a look at it. It's a phenomenal stock. I did change out the pistol grip. The stock pistol grip is actually very decent grip. For me, on this gun, when I put my hand on it, I had quite a bit of quite a bit of grip hanging out the bottom of my hand. Also, the grip angle was not quite as steep as this. I tend to like very upright grips, especially on shorter guns. This Kung Fu grip is like my current favorite. Also, just want to throw this out there real quick. Been testing this light for quite a while now. It's been on 2 different guns. It's probably got 1,500-ish rounds through the guns while the light was on it. It is the 6-hour Foxtrot MSR Compact, and I'm actually very impressed with this little light. It's compact, light output is excellent. It comes with 2 rechargeable batteries, which one of my complaints with rechargeable batteries is what happens when it dies. I gotta pull, I'm out of light. They actually give you 2, so you can carry a spare recharged battery, and if this one dies, you hot swap it, recharge the other one. Another thing I like about it, both the tape switch and the mount are Surefire compatible. So if you don't like the stuff that SIG gives you, there's plenty of options out. Let's talk about malfunctions. Like I said, 1,200-ish rounds. The first 200 were non-suppressed. Almost every round after that had the can on it. This is just for the can purposes. This is a Yankee Hill R9. Running this thing with the gun on, or with the can on it, and also I'm going to say partially due to the ammo that I was running. I was running Magtech steel case, probably, I think I ran 300 rounds of that through this gun with the can on it. I started encountering some malfunctions, and they were 100% magazine, dirty magazine related. I pulled these apart. I scrubbed them with bore cleaner and a brush, put everything back together, and when I did that, when I put them back together, I stretched the springs out a little bit and gave them almost a whole extra inch of overall uncompressed length in an attempt to put a little bit more pressure on the followers. Since I did that, 1, I have not run any Magtech steel case through this thing, and 2, I have not experienced any other magazine malfunctions. And I've put, what do we say, about 500 more rounds through it after cleaning the mags with the can on and 0 malfunctions. So I think it was a combined thing. I do think they could probably put a little bit stiffer spring in the magazines, and I think the magazine followers could probably use a redesign so that they have a little bit more of an anti-tilt property to them. Because I think what was happening is the mag got dirty, they were rolling up, and when you get to the last couple of rounds, the magazine stops being curved and straightens out. So I think it was hitting the dirt in the mag, and then it was causing it to tilt and lock up. That's what I think was happening. That said, it was probably can/ammo related. Beyond that, this gun ran beautifully. In the video you saw us shoot it back to back with a bunch of other guns. The only gun that we compared this thing to, the only other 9mm PCC slash subgun that we compared this thing to that was softer shooting than this was the HKS P5, which is almost 3 times the price of this gun. Accuracy on this thing is phenomenal for a little 9mm subgun. I had absolutely 0 problems from a standing at 40 yards on a hostage holder target, hitting the hostage, a little swinger on the back. I had no problem hitting the hostage holder. Yeah, you don't want to shoot the hostage, Matt. I'm not taking them out of the equation. That's a speed reference for anybody who's too young to understand that.
All right, pop quiz. Airport, gunman with 1 hostage. He's using her for cover. He's almost to a plane. You're 100 feet away.
Shoot the hostage.
So, what are my thoughts? You're looking at my new backpack gun. This is going to be my daily car, truck, trunk gun. It is a very small, compact, lightweight, smooth shooting package. They are available as of April 15th. If you were in the market for a 9mm subgun style weapon, you owe it to yourself to give this thing a really hard look. Go out and get yourself one. You'll love it. All right. All right. It says all right again. All right. Get it out of your system. All right.